Hey, I'm Captain David Bacon. Ran charter boats for 30 plus years and teach fishing for our community college system. And one of my favorite things to do is bounce balling for halibut. The number one question I get for that is, how fast should I troll? And that's a tough question. The question isn't tough, but the answer is. Let's deal with that. It'd be nice to just give a straight number like 2 knots, but it isn't quite that simple. We're going to burn some brain cells on this one. First off, how do we know how fast we're trolling? Oh, come on, we all look at the GPS and it gives us a number, and that's how fast we're trolling. And that's true, but that's speed over ground. And that's not what matters. So I don't want you to even look at your GPS. I want you to take one of those little yellow post-it notepads, put it over that spot on your GPS where it tells you what speed. That information will do you no good and may even get you in trouble. I'll give you an example. Let's say today we're trolling this way at 2 knots according to the GPS. And let's say today we're out in the ocean and there's a current going this way at about 2 knots. That's not an uncommon situation at all. So in this case, we're going to check your math here. In this case, what is your speed through water? Pause. The answer is 0. You're going this way 2 knots, the current's going this way at 2 knots, you got 0 speed through water. That means that nice big bounce ball and rig of yours with the Dodger blade and lure and all of that is just hanging there doing nothing. And no self-respecting halibut is going to have anything to do with that. In fact, as you make turns, your line's probably going to go all tangled up and you're going to be doing some of that reverse macrame stuff for about 20 minutes to untangle it. In that example, if we change the current, again, we're trolling this way at 2 knots, speed over ground according to the GPS, and the current's going the other way at 2 knots. So what's our speed through water now? It's 4 knots, which is too fast. Your rig's down there looking all jittery and probably scaring halibut. And so what you want is to know what your speed through water is. How do you know that? Well, you don't have much, but you do have one or more things, and that is your rod tip. Now, I use bacon sticks, my signature series built by Vague Rods, and I use a 20 to 50 pound bacon stick, and it gives me the power and the strength and the sensitivity that I need. And the rod tip, I watch it while I'm bounce balling, because as I'm bounce balling along at the right trolling speed, that rod tip is just doing these little twitches as the Dodger blade kicks. Little twitches. And so I've got thousands of hours of my eyes glued to rod tips watching those little twitches. And as long as those twitches are happening on the rod tip, I know that I've got the right trolling speed going. I'm putting on a real good presentation. The moment that twitching stops, set the hook. These halibut a lot of times will come up off the bottom, mouth your lure, and just glide with you. Now, if they turn their body sideways, oh, your rod will bend deep, your reel will zip, your adrenaline glands will do things. It's all good. But a lot of times they just glide with you, and then it doesn't feel quite right in their mouth, so they open their mouth and they leave. All you had as warning was that your rod stopped twitching. Set the hook. A lot of fish are lost that way. So that's how we go about determining and achieving the right trolling speed when you're bounce balling for halibut. Now you go out there and give it a try.